Now we're
All
recording.
right. Thank you, everybody, for joining this special team training tonight. This is our weekly Team Triumph training call Zoom. This is a really great honor tonight to have Eric Johnson with us. And I know there are a lot of excited people. I've been hearing from a lot of you all week long about this training and learning more about Teamzy. So Eric is the founder, CEO of Teamzy. And if you are not familiar with it, you're going to be now. If you're utilizing it, I guarantee you're going to be utilizing it even better after this. And the greatest thing is that Juice Plus, the company, has endorsed a partnership with Teamzy, and Eric was gracious enough to come on live with us tonight and share. So I know he's got a lot of great information. I'm going to turn it over to him.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the introduction. I'm happy to and excited to be with you all tonight, coming to you live from my home office in beautiful San Diego. I know you guys are probably spread all over the place. So tonight we're going to have some fun. What I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you about Teamzy. I'm going to show you how you can get all of your DMO done in less than an hour a day. Okay, and by what I mean by that is actually probably 10 times as much as you think you could get done in a day, you'll get done in less than an hour. Okay, tonight I'll show you how you could connect with 20 people every day in 20 minutes with Teamzy. Stay on top of it, log it, track it, be totally organized. Okay, but beyond becoming a power hour boss, Teamzy is also based on a philosophy of doing business called relationship marketing. I'm going to teach you a little bit about that tonight too. Because Teamzy is built not just to help you be efficient, but to help you systematically build relationships. Okay, and I do believe most of you that will resonate with you. A lot of what has been taught traditionally in our business, the same stuff that, you know, when you come across people who are skeptical and guarded about network marketing, it's because of the way we've approached the business for years, which is looking for sales and recruits rather than relationships. So I'm going to teach you kind of a different spin on it tonight. Then I'll take you into Teamzy. We'll set it up. I'll show you how easy it is to set up. We'll do a power hour together. I'll show you how the workflows go in Teamzy so that you can be mega super efficient. And then I'll show you how to follow up like a pro. Because I know follow up is where most people struggle. And I'll teach you how to do it without being annoying tonight. Okay, and then we'll do a Q&A. Also, I've got some special requests to talk to you about some of the cool features that Teamzy has, like the team report, where you guys can get on board with some team accountability. Which is key because you know what? You really aren't good. I don't mean you, like I'm not looking at any one of you. I'm talking about us, we human beings. We're not good on our own. And we don't do anything for ourselves, but we'll do anything for others. This is why accountability is such a key part of your success. Does this make sense? All right, so let's dive in. I will keep you guys muted, but if you, again, like I said, we'll do a Q&A at the end. However, if you feel the spirit move you and want to, you know, feel like you have to chime in, you can unmute yourself. You have the ability to manage yourself like that. Okay, so let's talk about this first. How to leverage relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. How many of you guys have a boss title that you've given yourself? Mom boss, girl boss, right? Dad boss, whatever. I like power hour boss because here's the thing. I want to spend more time with my family and not be working all day long. So if you can get super leveraged, right, you can do it an hour a day. Just a little background on me. Before Teamzy, my background is in coaching and consulting. I've been a professional business coach for 16 years. And what I do is I help people build their business. I teach them how to create systems in their business to develop relationships so they have a business that sustains itself and is enjoyable and is based on serving others, right? Now, I fell into network marketing by accident. I found some products that helped me. I lost a bunch of weight. It was really life-changing. How many of you that's happened for you with Juice Plus? Yeah. And so when you're excited about something happening in your life, you just kind of share it naturally. And that's what I was doing. I was just sharing what I was doing naturally, and I wasn't a distributor. I wasn't getting paid. I was just telling everybody they need to go do this. And eventually my wife kind of smacked me in the head and said, honey, go be a distributor and get paid for all those people you're referring over there. So it made sense. And when I looked at the business opportunity, I'd never really thought about it before, but when I looked at the business opportunity from the perspective of somebody who helps people build businesses, I thought, what a great opportunity. You can basically, with almost zero investment, create a business, a multi-million-dollar business. Now, my challenge was that I only had 1 hour a day to work on my business. I had a full-time job. I've got 4 kids. How many of you can relate to maybe having 1 hour a day on your business? And so I knew that it was doable, but I had to be highly leveraged. That's kind of a coaching term. I needed to leverage my time to be super efficient. So the first thing I did was I started looking for the tools that would help me do what I needed to do, which was stay in touch with people in a systemized way. And long story short, there was nothing elegant. There was nothing easy to use. There was nothing based on relationships in our industry. So we built it. That's how Teamzy came to be, because we needed it. And if you're going to build a business in an hour or two a day, you need something like this. All right, so let's jump back to this question about relationship marketing. What is relationship marketing? A lot of people think that this is just selling things to your friends, right? And when you're approaching people about the business, that's what they think you want them to do. Just sell a bunch of stuff to my friends. That's not what relationship marketing is. Relationship marketing is, the easiest way for me to describe it is this. Building relationships is your business strategy. That's the business strategy. And I want you guys to have a mindset shift at the beginning of our call, and that's this. You need to understand first and foremost that relationship marketing is a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. See, you guys aren't salespeople. You're business owners. Okay? Salespeople sell products. Business owners have to decide what lead generation to employ because they have to generate leads for the business. See, I want you guys to understand marketing Juice Plus products is not your business. You're in the lead generation business. You're in the lead generation business. And you can make sales and you can recruit people to your team all day long. And you should be. And we're going to talk about that tonight. But if you don't do the work that generates new leads for your business in a day, you didn't actually build your business that day. You were just busy. Make sense? But here's the great news about relationship marketing. It's not one of those hardcore, hard selling processes. Because of this principle, developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. So we generate leads so we can develop relationships. In other words, we meet people and build relationships with them. That's our business. Meet people, build relationships with them. Simple, right? Yeah, it is simple, but you need a system so that you know you're doing it and not dropping people through the cracks. What we do with relationships is we turn them into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. We turn our relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. See, traditionally, we're taught to go find somebody who's interested in purchasing. Go find someone who's interested in joining the team. I'm here to tell you, you find relationships, you build advocates out of that relationship, and they will bring hundreds of people to your business. Does this make sense? How do you think Teamzy got to be endorsed by Juice Plus? Did I call Juice Plus corporate and say, I think we've got a great product for your people? No. My advocates, Juice Plus distributors, went to them and said, these guys are awesome. You need to look at them. And that's what you guys will happen in your businesses when you work this system. Your people will go find people and say, you need to talk to my friend, Darnell. I see your name right there, so I'm calling on you. You need to talk to Darnell. Okay? All right, next slide. This is another principle I want you to get. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't gonna work. Okay? How many of you have come across somebody in your business or in this industry who's less than trustworthy? Maybe a little shady. Shady's like my way of saying, not that they're like a total liar, but they're just a little bit shady. Okay. Unfortunately, our industry kind of has a bad reputation because there's been a lot of stuff out there that's been a bit shady. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Everything I'm going to teach you is about being 100% transparent, open, honest, and integrous. Doesn't that feel better? Anything that you've ever been asked to do, and maybe you've never have, not everyone has, that has made you feel a little bit icky, you don't have to do that with relationship marketing. There's no ickiness. Trust, what I was going to say about the trust is when there's trust, it's so much more fun. Okay? When people trust you, you don't have to convince or sell them. You get to helping. You get right to helping them. Also, there's no ickiness. Okay? When you're building trust, there's no icky salesperson stuff going on. It's just, let's get to it. How can I help you today? And it's the best. And you get to go for yes. No more going for no. You get to go for yes with relationship marketing. Okay? No more rejection. No more burning bridges with friends, people crossing the street to avoid you because you're one of those network marketing people. Instead, people are excited about the mission you're on. So how do you do it? How do you actually build trust systematically? There's a process to this. And I'm going to teach you tonight the 4 ingredients, the 4 essential ingredients to building trust. Okay? Let's go through them quickly and then I'll break them out. Number 1 is chemistry. Number 2 is character. Number 3 is competence. Number 4 is consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. You guys got those? I see some good note takers. Hey, you think I made this stuff up? You learn, you apply, you refine, you teach, right? Number 1 is chemistry. Let's get into this. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? All right, couple things on this. Real simple. You need to connect with people, ask questions, and find out what you have in common with them. People want to do business with a friend. People want to do business with a friend. And nobody wants to do business with someone they don't like. Is that true? Are there lots of people in your business? Yeah. So people will, given the choice of 100 Juice Plus distributors, they're going to want to do the one, they're going to want to work with the one they have a relationship with. So figure out what it is that you have in common. And my caution to everybody is be very careful not to do things to divide people. Okay? How many of you have strong opinions on things? Okay, the rest of you just didn't raise your hand. Everybody has strong opinions. But strong opinions can divide, right? This is the way I look at it. You guys are in the business of healthy bodies, right? Every single person, no matter what their opinion, needs a healthy body. So just think about that. Just think about that as I come into my next couple points. It kind of all works together. But make sure you're not doing things to divide. You, as a business owner, you have your person, how do I say this? Like on social media, for example, like there's no separating you from your business. You are your business. You are your brand. Does this make sense? Okay. Number 2 is character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Please notice that character is not something you have. How many of you think you have good character? You don't have good character. It's something you do. Character is something you do. It's not something you have. Make sense? Something you do. Whole nother training, but a similar attribute is love. Love is not something you feel or something that you have. Love is something you do also. The important stuff are actions. Make sense? How many of you would say to somebody, actions speak louder than words? Show me, don't tell me. Character is when you demonstrate your care. So let's not get offended if someone questions our integrity. Instead, let's double down on showing them what kind of person we are. Make sense? And this goes for everything you do. Your character is paramount to your business. True? Do you feel that way about businesses that you do business with? If they have bad character, you don't want to do business with them. So everything you do, the way you post on social, the way you interact with your customers, the way you follow up, the way that you drive your car in traffic. Right? Don't put a Juice Plus sticker on your car and then road rage on the freeway. Let's not do that. Okay. Number 3, competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and that you're a business person. Okay. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. You build trust by being competent. Can you actually help me with my problem? Do you know enough about your products to recommend a solution to me for the problem I'm experiencing? Are you competent? Are you competent? Can you answer my questions when I ask them about the products? The second piece of this is, are you a business person that I trust to mentor me when I join your team? Do I trust that you can mentor me in this business? Do I see that you're competent as a leader? And do I want to join you? How many of you would like people to join your team? All of you, right? So that's what they need to know. Can you mentor me in this? Now, really quick, I can only see 4 of your faces at a time. Let me just look at your faces real quick. If you're hiding behind your cameras, flip them on. How many of you, any new people on the call? New people? New-ish? Some new-ish people. Okay. So new people, when you don't have competence yet. Maybe you're just learning about the products. Maybe you don't really know about the whole business. I'll be honest with you. When I was building my business, I had no idea how the comp plan worked. I had no idea. I would go into a room with other leaders and they would confuse me beyond. All I figured was if I was signing people up and helping people, I would get paid, and it worked. I had no idea. But so when you're new, sometimes you don't have that competence. Have you ever heard the term fake it till you make it? Who's heard that before? Okay, good. Don't do that. No faking it. Don't fake it till you make it. Don't fake anything. Look, you're talking to friends and family first. They've seen you with your pants on backwards. They don't believe you anyways. Sometimes they're the last ones you sign up, right? Because of that. You don't need to fake it. You don't need to fake anything because look around. Your team is competent. You lean into your team. When you're new, you lean into your team. You lean into your upline. You say, look, I'm new, but the most knowledgeable people in this industry, they're on speed dial on my phone. I can get a text message question to them any second within reason, right? And we can get the answers for you. You want to join my team? We're going to build this business together. Together, we're going to plug into the training, the mentorship that already exists with this team. So new people, don't fake it. Be honest. I'm new. I'm excited. This is what I'm going to do. This is what my friend has already done, and we're going to plug into their experience. Make sense? Okay. So leaders, teach your new people to lean into you. I know you already do this, but a good reminder. Tell them to lean into your experience until they build their own. All right. Oh, wait, that's the wrong thing. Hold on. Where'd my slideshow go? Sharing screens like a crazy man here. All right. So one principle on this before I move on to the next thing. Chemistry, character, competence. First three things to build trust. There's a principle behind them, and that's this. When people are going to do business with you, they only care about three things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Right? Think about it. Think about how important these are to you doing business with people. How does it feel when you feel like a company doesn't care about you? Right? How does it feel when you feel like you can't trust them? Okay, so here's the deal. When you have objections in your business, they come from these questions. And these aren't questions that people say out loud. They're questions they feel in their gut. Make sense? So when you get an objection over anything, could be an ingredient, could be price, could be the shipping cost that you have no control over, right? Whatever. The objections come from this place. How do you overcome it? You overcome the objection as a pro, as you've been taught to do, hopefully. And you continue working on the relationship. Over time, as you build a relationship, the trust is there, these questions go away, and you have loyal advocates. Make sense? Okay. Last one, number 4 is consistency. Consistency. Who's got kids? Any parents? Most people? Is it important to be consistent with your kids? Yeah? And it's just as important to be consistent with your team and your prospects and your customers, right? If you want to build trust, you have to be consistent. Nobody trusts somebody who's inconsistent, do they? Would you guys like to go for brain surgery with a surgeon who's inconsistent? No way. Are you telling me, Eric, that Juice Plus is like brain surgery? It could be. It could prevent brain surgery, possibly, right? Not making a medical claim, just saying I had a friend, right, who had this amazing experience. Consistency. I love this principle about consistency. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. We know that consistency builds trust. But what else is amazing is how people want to be around other people who are consistent. How many of you have been told that you're inspiring? People find what you're doing inspiring, your posts and what you've done with your life, like you're an inspiration to them. And it's humbling, right? It's humbling. But this is what's inspiring people. They see you being consistent. They see you changing your life for the better. They see you improving your health. They see you giving a hand up to other people to do the same, and it's inspiring them. Why? Because they respect consistency and they want it for themselves. One of the best gifts you ever gave yourself was becoming a leader in this business. Because once you become a leader in this business and other people are watching you, it helps you be consistent and better in your own life, doesn't it? If you jumped out of this and nobody was depending on you, who knows? You might slip right on back to the Krispy Kreme habit of old, right? No offense. I do that sometimes. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. Well, first of all, I want to give you guys the book where I got this principle from. It's a great book. I'm going to recommend it to you. It's called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. If you haven't read it, this is what it looks like. At least this is what it looked like. This copy is pretty old now. Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. This is a social science book, but it really digs deep into what motivates people. And if you want to be a leader in this business, this is like an essential read, okay? The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. Okay. I want to talk about this though. Are you guys consistent? First off, how many of you are consistent with your products? You take your products, you've got the healthy lifestyle going on. How many of you are pretty consistent daily with that? Okay, good. Everybody. What about social media? Who's consistent posting on social, sharing your story, doing that consistently? Let me see who's got that going on. Okay, we've got less hands. There's something to work on. Social media is where people connect these days. So you guys got to be consistent with that because that is where the people are. A business goes to where the people are to help people, right? Okay. So the real question though is this, the one that's on the screen right now. Are you as consistent with your relationships? Okay, are you as consistent with your relationships? And I already kind of know the answer for most of you. That's why you're here listening to me when you could be in bed. Well, maybe you are in bed listening to me, in which case you got a win-win situation happening. But this is important because people won't believe you till they see you. We have to be connecting with people. People won't believe you till they see you. What do I mean by this? You're posting on social media. Let's say you're into Facebook or Instagram. You're posting your story. You're sharing your story. And I see some of your posts. They're amazing. They're inspiring, right? And you pour your heart into one of these posts and you share your story in these posts and it's, you're vulnerable and they're amazing. And then you get, 2 or 3 people that say, yeah, I'd like more information. You're like, yes. But what about the 1,500 more people on your list that didn't respond or like or comment? Have you wondered about those people? Here's what I'll tell you. They're watching and reading those posts just like everybody else. I believe, especially if you're consistent, if you're consistently posting and sharing, every single person you're connected to knows your story now. Why aren't they interacting? Why aren't they liking? Why aren't they inspired? Because they don't believe you mean them. They don't believe you when you say, let me know if you're interested in more. I'm inviting you. No, she's not inviting me. She's inviting people she knows. Why would she invite me? I haven't heard from her since high school. Does this make sense? And I'm going to give you guys an example in a second to bring this home. But the bottom line is people are watching you. You're like a TV show. They don't feel connected if you have not connected personally with them. Facebook and Instagram gives us a feeling like we know what's going on in other people's lives, but it's like peeking through their windows. Make sense? So we have to connect with people. Here's what I want you to understand. Relationship building is a contact sport. You have to be in contact with people. In fact, I would tell you, if you hired me as a coach or a consultant for your business, I would tell you, you should be in regular contact with every single person you've ever met. But I know your time is scarce. That's why we built Teamzy, by the way, so you could actually do that. But here's the principle. And then I'm just going to talk about this principle for a minute, and then we're jumping to Teamzy. But investing time in connecting with people is the only way to deepen a relationship. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. You guys get that one written down? This is a huge one. I'm just going to get quick. I just want to look at your faces real quick, give you a quick example on this. Okay. How many of you, hold on, let me take a sip. It's just water. I'm not Blake Shelton. Okay. How many of you have ever received a card from somebody you really care about? And in the card, they wrote you a handwritten message that really moved you, touched your heart. Anyone ever get one of those? If anyone really hasn't gotten one of those, put your address in chat and we'll all write you a card tonight. Okay, so you can get one of those. Isn't it amazing how a card can really touch you? How many of you are total babies like me and you like the card better than the present? A few of you, that's me. My wife's like, nice card, honey, where's the present? Usually your opposites attract. So when you get an amazing card like that and you read it and you're like, touched, what do you do next? How many of you crumble it up, throw it away? Like, that was nice and it's now in the trash can. Let me see hands for people who throw away those beautiful cards. Not a single one. I usually get at least one Marie Kondo disciple that throws them away. Okay, how many of you keep those cards forever somewhere? To the point where you almost feel like you should get rid of them, but you just can't bear to do it. Yeah, we all do that. Isn't that amazing? They have so much value to us that we keep them. We often forget the gift, but we keep the card. And what's amazing is even when we pass away, our family will often keep those cards, won't they? How many of you have a card or a letter from a dearly departed person in your life that you saved? Isn't that crazy? So incredibly valuable. Could you even put a value on something like that? Now, on the other hand, oh, here it is right here in front of me. I recently received this. This is a happy birthday postcard. Has anyone ever received one of these? This one's from my life insurance salesperson. And it's a nice little postcard to remind me he was thinking of me on my birthday, or it automatically goes out, right? Little birthday card. I also get these occasionally from the dentist, and my dog gets them from the veterinary hospital, which is, the two places where I keep my money is the veterinary hospital and the dentist. They take all my money, just kidding. So I get a birthday card. So this card, you guys get is this nice to get? It's nice. It may remind me, oh, I need to update something with my life insurance policy, right? Possibly. Does this get saved in a special place with those wonderful letters and cards? No, this gets thrown away, right? Why does this really have no value? Have you thought about that? This has no, I won't make you sit in suspense. This has no value because it's not personal, right? This was a batch that was sent to everybody. And it took no time. There's no investment of time. No investment of time, no connection personally. So it's like kind of nice, but it can be thrown away. This is kind of like your Facebook post. It's important, it's nice, it's part of his marketing plan, but connecting one-on-one is where the relationship is made. Does this make sense? That handwritten card that you save forever, somebody invested time, undivided attention into writing you that message, and it is so priceless. Now, do you need to be writing letters and cards all day long in your business to build? No. But it is something you should do whenever you can think of it. Whenever you can think of a reason to send somebody a card, you should. That should be part of what you do, okay? But I want you to understand, sending somebody a message on Facebook, one-on-one, or text message directly to let them know that you're thinking of them. It'll take you 2 seconds, and you can totally light them up and make their day, okay? In fact, that's what I'm going to teach you about tonight, is the make someone's day mindset. We build a business by making people's day. What happens when you make other people's day? It makes your day awesome too, doesn't it? Isn't that amazing? Did you guys know, I read a lot of social science studies because I'm a nerd like that. I want to know how people are motivated. But I'm also a man of faith, and I read my Bible every day. And so it's amazing to me how social science just kind of studies and confirms the principles that we find, that we know are true. But one of the things that I believe we were designed for, and the social science studies show that people are happiest when we serve others. When we serve others is when we are most fulfilled as human beings. So yes, tonight I'm going to help you make money. I'm going to help you build a business that supports your family and all your dreams. But more importantly, it'll be based on service, and you're going to love doing it. Make sense? All right, so what's cool about this, let me jump over to Teamzy. I've got one more slide. I know you love this. I know you guys love relationship marketing. This is me. Yes, I agree. I want to build relationships, all of this. But you got to have a system. You got to have a system. You can't do this well without a system. Now, there are a lot of people who are naturally gifted at building relationships, and they've built highly successful businesses without having a system, and they do feel like their hair's on fire all the time. We'll help those people too by systemizing it for them. But you got to find a way to stay in contact with everybody in a way that doesn't make you crazy, right? You should know when to contact people and when not to contact them, and not have to think about it. Just know. Also know what to say so you don't stare at your screen for hours like I used to, trying to think up the perfect message. How many of you guys try to think of the perfect message? You get stuck. Just know what to say and make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. Make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. Tonight I'm going to teach you guys how to follow up, and I will submit that for most people in our industry, about 80% of the people they could have helped fall through the cracks. Crazy, right? All right, so let's jump out of this real quick. Let's get to Teamzy. Let me set this up. Real quick, how many people are already using Teamzy? So from who I can see, I'd say about a third of you, which is great. I'm so glad you guys are in the Teamzy family. That's awesome. For the rest of you, you can get a free trial of Teamzy. Just want you to know right now, what I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you how to do it right now, but you can get it for free for 30 days, completely free for 30 days. You go to teamzy.com/JP and start a free trial. We don't ask for your credit card or anything. You can even tell me your name's Mickey Mouse. I don't care. Go use it for free for 30 days. Okay. Because I believe if you use it for 30 days and do what I'm going to show you right now, you will have an amazing month. Might be the best month you've ever had in your business. And then staying with us will be a no-brainer. Also, reminder that Juice Plus has endorsed us and they negotiated a huge discount for you guys. So Teamzy is very inexpensive. It comes out to like 60 cents a day to have this program planning your DMO and your whole business for you as you go. Okay. All right. So let's jump in here real quick. Where's Teamzy? Here we go. So here's my Teamzy dashboard. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the setup wizard. When you first sign up, you go into the setup wizard. It helps you set up. It's built for people like me that aren't techie. How many of you are not techie? If I can do this, you can do this. It's so simple. Okay, so the setup wizard, I'm going to launch it again from settings. When you sign up, you'll be in the setup wizard automatically. So there's a little video for me. Welcome. I summed it up for you. Welcome. All right, so what we're going to do in the setup wizard are three things. We're going to set an income goal. Okay, once you tell Teamzy your income goal, Teamzy tells you what to do every day to hit it. You'll have a game plan, know exactly what to do every day. Okay? Number two, I'm going to help you create a powerful why. I'll talk to you about that in a second. But if you don't take the time to do this, you'll probably end up quitting the business, and that's a bummer. And then number three, we're going to get all your contacts into Teamzy in one place, organized. I know a lot of you guys have kids. You're probably familiar with Sid the Science Kid, the show. Anybody watch that with their kids? Super mega organized is my Sid the Science Kid. You're going to be super mega organized. No more pads of paper, no more sticky notes, no more spreadsheets that you forgot to update. It'll all be in one place. Your team, your customers, your Facebook friends, everybody will be in one place in Teamzy. It's in the cloud, which means it's always in your smartphone, which is always in your hand. Cool, right? Okay, let's get started. So set an income goal. What is the annual income you wish to be making a year from now? Okay, what is the annual income you wish to be making a year from now? I put 150,000 as my goal. What's yours? And be aggressive, dream big, okay? Because if you use your Teamzy consistently, you can hit a huge number pretty easily, okay? Now, for those of you who are, maybe some of you are already making six figures in your business, great. So what I want you to put in this box is the difference, the increase in income, okay? Continue. Now Teamzy's telling me if I want to get to $150,000 income, I need to connect with 4,348 people over the next 12 months. Is that a lot? Ellie's looking at me like, that's a lot. Yeah. Well, what do you expect? I want to make 150 grand after 1 year. I got to work for that, right? Teamzy is not a magic bean. It's something that requires some work. It's all good though. Because when I break this down on the next page breaks this down into a daily task that I can actually handle in my less than an hour goal. First, it breaks it into my three groups: prospects, customers, distributors. And then it breaks it down monthly, weekly, and daily. Now I have a daily target. I'm going to connect with 9 prospects every day. See right here in this little box, 9 prospects each day. I'm going to connect with them. By connect, I don't mean cold invite. I don't mean message them about Juice Plus or try to sign them up. I mean, I'm just going to connect to make their day. Remember the make your someone's day mindset? I'll show you how easy that is to do. My next group is my customers. I'm going to connect with 6 of those each day. Okay, Teamzy is going to tell me who it is, and I'm just going to send them a message to make their day. And then I'm going to connect with my team, with distributors on my team. I'm going to make sure that I'm in touch with them. Easy. So that's 19 people. I'm here to tell you that if it takes you 20 minutes, it's because you're new and a little bit slow in Teamzy. Okay? I could do 19 people easy in 15 minutes, even with 4 kids and a toddler who occasionally runs in here and she only has volume 10. How many of you guys have a toddler that only has volume 10 when they talk? It's like they sneak up to you and then yell. That's my 2-year-old. She'll come in here in the middle of something. So look, 19 people. Now, if you're new and you've got no distributor, now this is set up assuming you have a team. So let's say you don't have a team yet, you're new. You can just write over this, make that a 0 if you've got no distributors, and add it to your prospects goal. Okay? If you've got no customers either, then put the whole number 19 under prospects for now. Does this make sense? So you can edit these. These are a suggestion. All right, I'm going to put them back for that. Okay. Now, the next goal here is invite. See this little invites box? It set a goal for me to invite 3 people. An invite is when I'm actually talking about my business or the products. So what I'm doing is I'm starting conversations. I'll show you how to do this in a minute. I'm starting conversations just by saying hi and making people's day. And as I'm talking to people and catching up, I'm looking for people who are interested in learning more. Those people I'm going to invite. Hey, well, let's have lunch, or come to a virtual event, or let's try some products, or right. And so those people I'm inviting, 3, just 3 people out of my 19 conversations. The rest aren't ready yet, so I'm not going to push it on them. Make sense? And then ads, the last goal, ads. Ads are just new people you're putting in Teamzy each day. You're meeting new people and putting them in there. You got to always be adding. You always should be meeting new people. And that this might require you to get out of your comfort zone a little. Maybe you're meeting people on social media. But I will tell you this. The best way to meet new people is to get introduced by the people you already know. I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight. I wish I had more time to teach that tonight. But for me, I met new people every day, and they were by introduction. Okay. All right, let's hit continue. Once you have these set up wherever you want them, click continue, and now it sets up your Teamzy dashboard to your goals. Let me just skip out of here and show you really quick. Here's my Teamzy dashboard. Today's activities is the goals, are my goals for the day. And you can see I have to connect 9 prospects. I've done 0. I have 9 left to do. Connect with 6 of my customers, 4 distributors, invite 3, add 3. Those are my metrics for each day. If I can hit that 5 days a week, I will hit my goal in 12 months. How cool is that? How cool is that? All right. So let's jump back in here real quick. The next step is my why. Finding your why. How many of you have been told, or you've heard from your amazing leadership on your team, or from other leaders in the business, or even from corporate, that it's important to know your why? You're like, yeah, we've heard this a few times. Why do you think everybody agrees that you should know your why? Do you think maybe it's actually important? Here's the truth. 1 out of 2 people quit the business their first year. 1 out of 2. 50%. Think about if you were putting your kids in school and they said, this is the greatest school. Your kids are going to do great. Now, we are so successful and vibrant and we're growing. Of course, 1 out of 2 kids completely fails and doesn't move on. But the 50% who don't quit are incredibly successful. Would you be excited about that? No, you guys aren't liking that analogy. That's not a dig on Juice Plus. This is all of network marketing. 1 out of 2 people quit their first year. The reason people quit is because, anybody have an idea? They don't have a reason not to. See, if you're in this for a couple extra bucks, or you're in this to try it out or put your toe in the water, and you don't really have a really good emotional reason to stick with this and be successful, you'll quit. That's what we do. Human beings take the path, we're like water. We take the path of least resistance. If we come up against challenges or struggles or even boredom, procrastination, we'll just quit. This is why you need to get your why. You need to figure this out. Now, here's the good news. For those of you who know this already, but you just haven't done it because it seems hard or weird or esoteric, or right? How many of you are kind of like that? Like, this is weird. Like, I got to get in touch with my inner child or something to figure this out. You don't have to go to a sweat lodge in Sedona to figure out your why. Honestly, it's not that. We're making too big a deal out of it. We have my business partner, Mike Lopez, who was my mentor for years. He and I have gone through, we've read every book on finding your why and all of this. And we just feel like the process is much simpler than that. We've kind of written 5 questions. 5 thought-provoking questions just to get you thinking about this and take you through the process on your own so that you can create your first why statement. The reason I'm taking a minute to talk to you about this tonight is because I know without this, a lot of you guys are going to quit. So I'll show you real quick how it works in Teamzy, and I'll share my personal story as an example. I know that your story is different. I say it's an example because I see so many people who use my why statement as their why statement, which is fine if you like it, but personalize it a little bit. All right, here we go. First question. Why'd you become a distributor? So ask yourself, why did you do this? For me, it was simple. People were asking me what I was doing. I don't know if I told you the whole story, but I lost 60 pounds. I lost 60 pounds in about 100 days. I was working out like a fiend, working on my nutrition. I was finally ready after 4 or 5 years of starting and stopping. I was finally ready to do it. I lost 60 pounds and everyone was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? And I was just telling them. And as I mentioned, my wife told me that I should be getting paid. So I signed up. Next question. What do you hope to accomplish? I asked my sponsor at the time, hey, do you think if I did this, I've only got about an hour a day to focus on it, but do you think I could make $500 a month extra money? He said, yeah, I think you could do that. I said, okay, great. Sign me up. That's what I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to make $500 extra money. Now look, some of you know me and you've been to my training, so you know that I'm passionate about changing our industry, changing the heart of our industry, changing the way we build our businesses. That wasn't me then. I just wanted $500 extra. Make sense? Some of you guys can relate. You're like, I'll take that right now. Why is this important to you? Next question. Why is this important to you? What I wanted to do with that $500 was put it in my bank. That's it. I just wanted to save it. I hadn't saved money in ages. How many of you guys struggle with just putting some in the bank? Like, that's what I wanted to do. Just to give you some background on my story, I told you that I was a business coach and I worked with people on their business. I specifically focused on real estate, the real estate industry. That's who I helped. I helped people become top real estate agents, which was a great choice because real estate was growing and growing and growing and growing. And then all of a sudden we had the Great Recession. How many of you guys remember the Great Recession of 2008 through 2010-ish? Yeah. My business disappeared. I found myself with every person I knew out of work. And it was scary. And, we were blessed. We made it through, our family, we made it through, but we barely made it through. Like by our fingernails, we used up our savings and we went into a paycheck to paycheck existence, which is very scary. Paycheck to paycheck. I see some of you guys nodding. You know what that feels like, because you know that if that paycheck went away, you're like 2, maybe 3 months from everything getting repossessed, right? It's really scary. And I had already been laid off once. And so now I understood that I could be laid off for any reason at any time, which is another great reason we're here tonight building our own futures, right? So I just wanted to put money in the bank. I felt like if I could put $500 in the bank every month, that would be a huge win. It had been at this point 6 years since we had saved money. The next question is, what would achieving this mean for you and your family? I'm not showing it to you, but that's the question. What would achieving this mean for you and your family? And what I wanted to do was, I just wanted to buy a new home for my family. That's what I really dreamt of doing, was buy a new home for my family. We were in a home that we'd outgrown. I have 4 kids. At the time we have 1 dog. We had 2 dogs at that time. Big dogs, 100+ pound dogs. And we were on top of each other. I mean, we're a close family, but we don't need to be that close. When you have to go lock yourself in the bathroom to make a phone call, that's not good. So I just dreamt of a new home for our family. Like, that was a dream of mine. And I thought if I could save that $500 a month long enough, maybe that I could make that happen. Now, the last question here on the page is, why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? So I wanted to buy a house. Now I'm presented with the question, why is that a meaningful goal and how do I feel about it? Which, by the way, I hate that kind of question. And I put it in here for you to hate too, because it makes you really think. Here's the truth. How many of you guys feel like right now you might be just kind of in survival mode? Just trying to get by and be in survival mode. Most of us are. When you're in survival mode, you don't take 10, 15 minutes to really think about your heart's desires and what you want in life. You have a notion of it, but you're too busy trying to figure out what needs to get done today to keep everybody above water. That's why I want you to go through this process. So as I'm thinking about buying a home, first off, I feel kind of guilty about it. Because it's a materialistic dream, right? Like, why is that a meaningful goal? But here's what I understood as I started thinking about it. The home symbolized family, right? It was more of a family goal than a home goal. See, here was my situation. I get up every morning and go to work. My kids, I would say goodbye to my kids in their pajamas. They're still in bed. And I'd come home from work in the evening and my kids are in their pajamas again, getting ready for bed. Anybody relate to that? I felt like I was never going to see my kids other than good morning and good night. And then it was like, I would come home, put them to bed, and then hang out with my wife for 30 or 40 minutes before we both passed out exhausted. And I thought to myself, wow, this is not the life I want to have with my family. And so going through this process, it made me kind of face that realization, because I was like, everything's good. I've got a great career. I've got a corner office with an ocean view. It's pretty awesome. I've got a lot of respect, fancy looking business cards. But at the same time, we were paycheck to paycheck, and I was never around my family. And so going through this process, I started to understand what I really wanted. I never took the chance to really think about. And it clarified a lot of things for me. First off, I had a mental shift. I stopped thinking about my network marketing business as a side business or extra money. How many of you think of it as a side business or extra money right now? I had flipped the switch and I said, look, I love my job and my career is cool, but it's not getting me where I want to be. I'm stuck. The network marketing business could deliver everything I ever dreamt of. So I started thinking of my career money as extra money. How many of you are at a point in your job where you can crush that job in your sleep? I mean, I know you work hard, but you're really good at what you do. It doesn't take a lot of energy, a lot of creativity. It's just like you're really good at your job. In fact, as I was leaving my career, I'm jumping ahead. My boss, CEO of my company I work for, he said, I feel like you do this job in your sleep. And I said, I can. He goes, I really want more out of you. And I go, but I'm crushing it. Like what, right? Makes sense? I started thinking of that as extra. I said, you guys are going to pay me 6 figures a year while I build, so that 1 hour a day, I can channel all my energy into my real business. It was a switch. And I wrote the very first why statement, going through this process. Let me share it with you here. It's actually the sample text in Teamzy. That's how everybody copies mine. They just use my sample text. But this is my why statement that I wrote just 3 years ago. I wrote this. I can't believe it. My why: to create a life where I never have to worry about money again. I enjoy quality time with my family, and I'm present for my children on a daily basis. I'm healthy and full of energy. This was my why statement. I wrote this down, and it changed everything for me. It convicted me. There were days when I didn't feel like going into Teams and connecting with people. Do you guys have days where you don't feel like doing anything for your business? You're tired, especially when you work all day long, right? But then I would be confronted with this, and I would have to make a decision. Knowing that I have Teamzy and I can do it in 30 minutes, do I just suck it up and do it, or do I stay stuck in my current reality? Right? And you can't stay still. You're either growing or dying. You're either moving towards your goals or away from them. So it convicted me. And more times than not, I would be like, you know what? Let me just suck it up and do it. I'll just crank it out because my why is important to me. Does this make sense? And I just want you to understand, for me, within 3 months of writing this down, I left my job. I left my career. And I'm the sole breadwinner in my family. And it was a scary leap of faith to do. And my wife, God bless her, she supported me because I promised her that I would get a job in 3 months if I didn't make our bills. But here's what happened. I told you that my house was small and there was no place for me to work, right? I needed to come home and work. So I went to, some of you know the story, I went to Home Depot and I bought a shed. You know the sheds you put your lawnmower in? How many of you have a shed in the backyard full of spiders and lawnmowers? I bought one of those sheds at Home Depot. I threw it in my backyard on the dirt. People were like, did you pour a slab? I'm like, I don't have money for concrete. I don't have a job. I put it on the dirt on a couple of boards, like a couple of logs type thing. And I drilled a hole in the wall and I ran an extension cord through the hole in the wall. And I set up an office on a homemade desk in the shed, and I started building my business. Because my why was clear, I knew I was going to make it happen. Now, I recently found this picture. I'd love to share this from in my shoffice, my shed quarters, as we called it, with one of my, at the time, my mentor and now my business partner, Mike Lopez. Look at this. Here we are in the shed. This is where I built my business. And you can't really tell what's behind me right there on the desk, but you know what that is right there? That's a stack of note cards. Guess what I was sending people? Just saying. But you can see in the background we're brainstorming an idea I had at this time for Teamzy. A new idea because I was struggling to get everything done that I needed to. I knew I needed a system like this. The bottom line, you guys, is the why is so important. That's why I took a few minutes to talk to you about it today. Hopefully my story inspires you. But I want you to know that goal of buying a home for my family was achieved. I'm in it right now. This is my home office. I could fit 4 of those sheds just in this room, which is so cool. It's been such a blessing. I want this for you too. I want you guys to be able to live the life of your design, but it starts by figuring out what's important to you. And if you find that you're blowing off your business or not feeling motivated, then your why is not deep enough. Does this make sense? One last example on this. Parents, let me see your hands again. How many of you have successfully fed your children every single day of their life? That's pretty amazing. You didn't miss a single day? You mean there wasn't a day you just didn't feel like doing it? Did you guys know? There wasn't a day where you just didn't want to do it anymore, or you got sick of it, them complaining, or maybe just procrastinated it so long that you just didn't feed them till the next day? That never happened? Oh, you must have a really clear why. See the difference? But yet, how many times have you not fed your business in a day? Just a thought. I'm not saying your business is more important than your kids, but you got to figure out what will drive you to really work it. All right, let's jump back in here. Let's actually do a power hour in Teamzy. What do you say? That's what you guys are here for. So what I want you to know is you put your why in this box here. Whatever you type in this last box, when you click continue, it saves it to the dashboard of Teamzy, where you're going to read it every day when you do your power hour. Read it out loud to yourself so you can program your subconscious to make it happen. The last step in setup is getting your contacts into Teamzy. There's a page here with a few videos that can help you. It explains how to get your back office imports from Juice Plus, right? So how to get your distributors in and then your customers in. This explains how to get your Facebook friends into Teamzy, which is so cool. You don't have to search through Facebook Messenger trying to figure out who to connect with. Everyone's going to be in Teamzy organized, okay? Anywhere you have contacts, you bring them into Teamzy. There's some videos here that will show you how to do that. There's also a full help center in Teamzy. Oh, I got rid of Teamzy. I hit the wrong button. There's a full help center where you can get more videos and FAQs, and you can even ask for help from our team. They'll walk you through it if you need it. Where did it? Oh, that's weird. Let me try it again. I lost Google Chrome completely. Disappeared. Where'd you go, Chromie? That is really bizarre. Oh, there it is. Found it. All right, here we go. So I'm going to skip this last step. Once you get everybody imported into Teamzy all in one place and organized, there's one more step to set up, and that's ranking people. Notice that everybody has a number next to their name. You guys see that? The numbers are stars, like 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars. You guys know how this works. The ranking system is important because you need to prioritize your relationships. 80% of your business will come from 20% of the people you know, right? The 80-20 rule. So you need to be in contact more often with the best people. You stay in contact with everybody, but you'll be in contact more often with the best people. That's what the star ranking does. You rank them, and then you never have to plan. Teamzy does it automatically for you. It just makes your list every day based on the rank and based on the last time you connected with them. Cool, right? Let me show you how this works. I'm going to toggle over to the team page. The team page is where your full list lives. See, everybody, in relationship marketing, everybody's your team, not just your distributors. Your customers, they're your team because they bring you new customers and they support your business. Your friends, your prospects, your family, they're your team because they're advocates for your business. Make sense? Okay, so the team page has everybody. When you come over here, after an import, it'll automatically do this for you, but you can come to this page and turn on rank mode. This helps you do it quickly. So now everybody's rank is visible, and I can scan the list and just rank people. If I want Darlene to be 4 stars, I just click on it. If I want Hamilton to be 1 star, just click him down. It's super easy, okay? Now, I don't want you guys to get intimidated by this. Everybody will start as a 3 star by default. What I want you to do, especially if you have a huge list, just scan down and look for your favorite people and rank them up to 4 and 5 so that those favorite people come up more often and they come up first. Make sense? Here's my definitions for the star rankings, and then we'll do our power hour. Number 1, 5 star. A 5 star is somebody most likely to become a customer or a distributor, or they're an existing customer or distributor that's a rock star. Your 5 star people are your best friends, your closest family. They show up every 30 days on the up next list. Every 30 days, you get a reminder to connect with this person and make their day. Okay? A 4-star person is somebody likely to become a customer or distributor with just a little bit of nurturing, or they're an existing person on your team or an existing customer that's solid. These are your friends and your family, the ones you like. Not your closest, but the ones you like. They're 4 stars. They show up every 60 days. Every 60 days, you connect with them. 3 stars could go either way. This is why we default to 3 for everybody. A 3-star shows up every 90 days. Most of the people on your list will be 3 stars, and that's perfectly appropriate, okay? You're still connecting with the 3-star people 4 times a year. You're staying in touch. 2 stars are getting colder. They show up every 120 days. Does this make sense? More stars, more often. Once you've done this once, now you can always change somebody's rank at any time on the record, so you can change it there. When you're on the dashboard, you can change the rank by toggling it. But you never have to do this again. You never have to plan your day ever. You turn on Team. As soon as you log into Teamzy, you can start working. You don't have to plan. You don't have to get organized. It's all done for you. How cool is that? You know exactly what to do. So let's do our power hour together. We've got it all set up now. We've set our goals, so we know how many things to do. Our lists are now generated by Teamzy telling us who is up next to connect with. I've got in my power hour, which is right here in the center, I've got 4 lists: prospects, customers, distributors, and my follow-ups list, okay? Each one of these lists has 5 names at a time. That's to keep me focused and from getting overwhelmed. But don't worry, as soon as I connect with one, it moves up and there's still 5, right? It always tells me who's up next. My power hour, and then on this side, on the right-hand side, is where I log the activity as I go so that I don't have to ever come back and do homework and log stuff later. That's annoying. How many of you think that's annoying? Let Teamzy guide you. It tells you who's up next. You connect with them, log it as you go. You don't have any homework to do. You're done. Okay? And remember, it's in your phone. So you can always pull it up wherever you are. You're in line waiting to pick up the kids. You connect with the next 3 people on your list and log it as you go. Super efficient. So let's go ahead and do this together. Now, I've got right up here a Facebook open in a separate tab. I like to use Facebook Messenger to message people because I feel it has the best response rate by far. So that's my favorite. But look, you can connect with people however you want. You can see there's a bunch of different choices here. Okay? But I'm going to show you Facebook Messenger because that's my favorite one to do. So the first person on my prospects list is Andrea. Okay, let's connect with her. So here's what I'm going to do. I have no idea what to say to her. How many of you get stuck right here? That's me. So come right here into the connects box. See where it says scripts? I'm circling it right now. Do you guys see where it says scripts right there? Click this. Now, I worked for years figuring out how to connect with people quickly, efficiently, and just get a smile on their face. That's my goal. I'm going to grab a Facebook script, and I'll just grab this first one here, connect number 1. Hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. Oh, Eric, that's so simple. Yep, that's all you need. That's all you need. Look, I'm going to copy that script. It's going to blow people away because nobody does this. Some of you have been so poor about reaching out that people will go, hey, Carla, I think somebody hacked your Facebook because I just got a really nice message from you, and it's obviously not you because you don't do that. And then you're going to have to say, actually, it was me. I wasn't hacked. I just thought of you today and thought I'd say hi. Okay? Don't worry if that happens to you. That's just showing you how rare it is to actually get a good message from somebody. So look, I pasted it in Teamzy so I can edit it. I need to change the name. A microphone in front of my keyboard. Okay, so I got to make sure the name's right. How many of you have to have emoticons in every message? That's me. I got to have an emoticon. So I'm going to put an emoticon in there. Maybe 2. If 1 emoticon's good, 2 emoticons is better, right? Okay, so I got my emoticons. Now I've got the message just the way I want it. So now that I've got it the way I want it, I'm going to copy it and send it in Facebook. Now, you do have to send it in Facebook. You can't send it through Teamzy. That's because Facebook doesn't let anyone else play in their sandbox. But it's okay. It only takes a second, you guys. There she is. I send her the message. Okay? Just paste it in there. Again, you can do this on your phone if you want. If you're better on your phone or whatever. I do it both ways. Look, send, done. Message is sent. Now I've sent her this message. I'll come back over to Teamzy and I'm just going to finish logging it. Look, see the big blue button that says log connect? How many of you think that's how you log the connect? That's how you do it. Log connect. Done. Look, notice that she's gone off my list. My list is moved up. I've got 1 done, 8 left. Next person's Jay. I've already got that script set up in my what do you call that? Clipboard. I'm just going to paste it again, save me some time, change the name. I've already got my emoticons, everything the way I want it. Great. By the way, little pro tip, always use their name in the message. Always use their name. Some of you are going to think, oh, well, it's easier to just say, hey, girl, and not have to change it. But as soon as you take their name out, a lot of times people don't believe that it's personal anymore. Okay. Also, Facebook might think that you're spamming if you're, so anyways, look, there it is. See how quick that was? There it is. I pasted it in, send. Now I've sent the message to Jay. I'm going to log it the same way. That was a Facebook message, big blue log connect button. 2 done, 7 left. Do you see how I can do this really fast? Now there's a few other scripts if you want to mix it up. You don't have to though. They're different people. People are like, well, I sent this same script to siblings in the same week and it said hi. And I just, I'm like, and you sent them a message that said, hi, I hope you're having a great day. And you felt weird about that. They're like, oh yeah, I guess I didn't think about that. What people say is, oh, I heard from Eric today. Oh, I heard from Eric on Tuesday. That's great. Do you guys, how's he doing? Okay, great. So I'm going to go down my list of prospects till I hit my goal. My goal was 9. So when I'm done, see that circle that's filling in? It'll be all the way blue. It's like a visual cue that's like, next list. Okay. So when I get to 9, you may want to keep going, but that's okay. We'll go to the next list, customers. Now, 2 pro tips on this. Some people will not respond. Probably about half of the people you message will not respond at all. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about following up or anything because they're in Teamzy. They're going to come back automatically 30, 60, 90 days down the road. Make sense? So you're only going to focus on the people who do respond, which is great. So that's one thing. The second thing is some people will respond immediately. Don't go run off and have a conversation with them right now, or you'll never get all of your messages out. Okay? Focus first on getting all your messages out, and then you can have the conversations that are starting. Make sense? Now we're going to hit our customers the same way. Zenny is the first person on my list. Again, if you can go to my scripts, if you need a little help getting started with customers, there's some great ones here. Congratulations on great results. You're doing great. So great. I'm proud of you. Maybe somebody's lost weight or something, or they're getting healthy. Here's one. Hi, John. How are you enjoying the product? Send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. Right? So change whatever the product is that he's buying, put it in there. Or this is my favorite one. So simple. Hi, Jane. Just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Okay, so this is the one I'm going to send to Xenia. I'll paste it in here. Change the name. Right? Get your emoticons in there if you're emoticon happy. If you don't know how to add emoticons on your keyboard, just Google keyboard shortcut for emoticons on Mac or on PC and you'll get it, okay? That changes your life when you can put emoticons from your computer. It's the best. Okay, so look, here's the message to Xenia. Do you guys see how easy this is? Again, I'm just gonna send it. I would copy it, send it in Facebook, log it here, work down my customer list, keeping in touch with them. Just really quick on this, because there's a lot of stuff I still wanna cover, but I wanna go through this really quickly with you. You do not need a complicated follow-up system for customers to be excellent at service. You just need to be in touch with them regularly. That's it. So if you've got a complicated system where it's like, okay, after the order, I check within 18 days. On the 18th day, I check in, and then 3 days after that, and then you find yourself not sticking to that. Honestly, if you just put them in Teamzy and let them come up naturally whenever they come up and you're in touch regularly, it'll be excellent. Okay? Now, an amazing thing happens when you're in regular contact with customers. When you're in regular contact with customers, just in contact, just making their day, just checking in, guess what happens? They buy more products. They buy more products and they retain longer on their monthly auto ships. Okay? How many of you would like your customers to purchase more and retain longer? All you have to do is be in touch. This is a statistical fact. In fact, when I've seen teams like this go on a Teamzy challenge, where everybody does a 30-day trial, you might see the whole team volume go up 20, 30% in 1 month. Just because suddenly everyone's in touch. A lot of your customers are waiting to hear from you. They're not thinking about you until they hear from you. Oh yeah, I'm glad you mentioned because I need to get more. I need to do something else. I need to get an additional whatever. Okay? The other reason is this. Again, I wish I had a week to train you on just this topic. How many of you guys have at least one great customer who's excited? Let me see your hands. Honestly, if you have one customer that's excited, you have the makings of a huge business. How cool is that? How many of you want more customers like that one? Where do you go get them? Do you do it on, where do you find new customers? Instagram? Facebook? I don't know. The best place for a new customer is a current customer. Okay? The best source of a new customer is a current customer. This is true in any business. It's true in any business. What do people do when they're excited about anything? They tell other people about it, right? That's what we do. That's why some of you are here. What does this mean? It means that right now your customers are telling other people about Juice Plus. Okay? The stats are this: 82% of North Americans make purchasing decisions based on the recommendation of a friend. 82%. How many of you would go to Vegas if the odds of winning were 82%? Right? Yeah. Buy a lottery ticket. No, you don't need to buy a lottery ticket. Stay in touch with your customers. They'll bring you more customers. Stay in touch with your customers. Be in touch, especially your best ones. Find out if you can make their day. And ask them. Just ask them. You've been getting great results. Have you been talking about Juice Plus with friends? Have you been telling other people about what you're doing? Are any of those people, can you connect me with it? Who are the people you're talking to that need more information about Juice Plus so I can get it to them? Okay, just ask them. Who are they? Great. Introduce me to them and I'll get them some information on Juice Plus. Just ask them. You got to be in touch first though. Does this make sense? And if you have somebody that gives you 3 friends and they're all interested, now you've got a new distributor too, right? Because then you're like, hey, D, your 3 friends are all interested. And I'm excited to help them. But have you ever thought about being a distributor yourself? I mean, you've already brought 3 people to the business, and we might as well sign you up and get them under you, right? How many of you were customers before you became distributors? More than half. Stay in touch with your customers. It's as important as prospecting. Okay, the last group here are distributors. We're going to connect with our distributors and build relationships with our distributors. It's important. They need to hear from you personally. People will stay motivated the longest because of the connection to the leader. Okay? By the way, this is the way you want to build your team anyways. You want them to be family. You want to have a tight team, right? You just stay in touch. Let Teamzy keep in touch with them. If you have a huge organization, those of you who have a huge organization, you think, oh my gosh, how could I possibly do this? I'm actually in a conversation right now with somebody who has 300,000 people on her team. Crazy, right? And I'm like, you're not going to stay in touch with 300,000 people unless you're the president. So what I want you to do, though, is at least stay in touch with your personally sponsored people and the leaders on your team. That's a manageable group, right? So that brings her down to a few thousand people that she could manage staying in touch with. But that's what you want to do, is figure out how you can connect with people personally. It's cool to have a Zoom call. It's cool to have a Facebook group, but people want to hear from you directly, just like we talked about before. It's the postcard versus the handwritten card, right? It's a big difference in impact. And the last list here, so as we connect, the same way we connect with our distributors, the same way. There's a couple of scripts if you want to use them, but just connect. You know what's fun is when you're talking to distributors who are using Teamzy, I can't even tell you how many times I told people on my team, hey, you're up next on Teamzy today. How are things going? And they would be like, oh my gosh, it's great to hear from you. Things are great. And it was like, they knew that they came up on Teamzy and they were still so excited to hear from me. Make sense? Last list are follow-ups. When you get to follow-ups, so the first half of your power hour, prospects, customers, distributors, super easy. You're just firing off messages. And you're getting to that finish line. It's so exciting. And that part is very easy. Then you get to your follow-ups. Follow-ups, I have no follow-ups scheduled. How do people get on my follow-ups? See, these are connects, not follow-ups. A lot of people use the term, they interchange that term. A follow-up is when we're following up on an offer made. Does this make sense? So how does this work? As I'm connecting with people, my goal is just to make their day. How do I get from making their day to signing people up on my team? Well, the next step is have a conversation. So by just making their day, we're going to start more conversations because people are like, oh, great to hear from you. That was so nice of you. And now you have a chance to have a conversation with them. Ask questions. Find out what's going on in their lives. Get an update from them on what they've been up to since you last spoke. Okay? If it's been 20 years, say, oh my gosh, has it been 20 years? What have you been up to? Send me your update. Tell me what you've been up to for these past 20 years. It's okay. They're going to tell you, and you've got a lot to tell them too. And while you're talking to them and listening to them, take notes and ask questions, find out what's going on, find out what they need, find out where you can help them. And if it has nothing to do with Juice Plus, that's fine. Maybe they just need a friend today. You'll be amazed, by the way. I know about a third of you are already using Teamzy. You guys have probably, you can raise your hands if this is happening. How many of you have people have been like, oh my gosh, it's so random that you reached out to me today. I really needed to hear that today. I really needed something, a kind message like that today. And you're there for them at that amazing moment. The bottom line is you're going to find a way to help them. So now as I'm talking to, let's say my friend Jay, I messaged her, right? Talking to Jay, catching up, getting caught up on her life. As we're sharing our stories, I'm going to give her my update. I'm going to tell her what I'm doing. I'm going to tell her, and this is the way, write this down. I'm going to tell her what I do and why I'm passionate about it. I'm going to tell her what I do and why I'm passionate about it. I sell whole food nutrition in a convenient little capsule form. No, that's not what I do. Is that what you guys do? I help people lose weight, regain their health, fight disease. It's been amazing, right? What is the problem you solve? Juice Plus is the vehicle you use to solve the problem. You partnered with Juice Plus because, in your opinion, they're the absolute best at this. Does this make sense? And it lets you know that if there was something better, you'd be selling that. What is it you do and why are you passionate about it? See, here's the thing. When I'm talking to Ellie and I say, hey, Ellie, hey, it's great catching up with you. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to hear that your cat's feeling great and everything's going great for you. By the way, I do Juice Plus now. Have you heard of Juice Plus? It's pretty amazing. Can I send you a link to a video? See what you think of it. Send me your opinion. And then she's like, oh, that's why he's catching up. Lame, right? No, instead I say, she's like, well, what have you been doing? And I tell her my story. Now, you guys all have a story. Well, I know it's been ages since I talked to you, but I recently lost 60 pounds, regained my health, my vitality. It's like I have a new life. I can't even believe how different it is. She's going to go, cool, that's awesome. Good for you. And I'm going to go, yeah. And what I found is that I have a passion for helping other people do the same thing. Like, it's been amazing. In fact, I left my job 3 years ago. I work for myself now. And I don't have a boss. I don't have to deal with that. I get to be home with my kids. And in the meantime, what I do for a living is help other people. Wow, that's cool, right? How could a response be anything but that? How many of you would like everybody's response to what you're doing? Wow, good for you. That's amazing what you're doing, right? See, what you want to do is you need to let them know what you do and why you're passionate about it so that you can set them up to become your advocate and to join your mission. Remember, you're not looking for a sale or a recruit. You're looking for a soldier to join your army, to get on your crusade for the mission on how you're going to change the people in your life. In my boot camp, I tell people, get on a mission from God. What is your mission from God? What is your holy crusade of your life? Do you see why the why is important and you can't just do this for a couple $100 a month and really do it? I'm going to get her on my mission. Wow, that's great. Now, as we're talking, she's like, wow, that's so cool. You don't have a boss, and I'm listening for interest in any piece of it. And then I'll say, well, have you ever thought of doing something like this? You'd probably be great at it. Would you like to learn more about what I'm doing? And she says, yes. Sure, I'd learn more. Great. Now, guess what? I'm going to invite her to something, put her on my follow-ups list. Make sense? If she says, I'm going to throw you guys a little gimme here. If she says, no, thanks, Eric. It's been great catching up, but I'm not interested in that. You guys get that ever? Cool. I'm excited for that answer too. You know why? You know what I'm going to say? That's no problem. No, I respect that. That's awesome. Hey, but it was really great catching up today. But could you do me a favor, Ellie? If you do come across anybody who's struggling with their weight, with their health, with their nutrition, with disease, could you connect them with me? Because I'm on a mission to help as many people as I can. And she's going to say, yeah, I'll do that. Absolutely. I'll keep my eyes open for people that need you. I'm here to tell you, at least in my experience, 100% of the people that I asked that in the context of telling them what I do and why I'm passionate about it said yes, they would do that. I'm planting a seed in their mind to support my business not to reject it. Does this make sense? Yeah, they're not interested today. No big deal. Guess what? When Ellie comes up in 90 days, I'm going to say, hey, it's been a while since we chatted. How are things going now? And we're going to talk some more. And I'm going to continue to build the relationship and build trust. And she's going to be watching me on social media intently as we connect. Because guess how many people are messaging her and connecting with her on a daily basis? 1 or 2 in her whole life. That's what it is for most of us. Do you know that? Most people only have 2 friends. Crazy, right? Okay, so I think I over-delivered just there. The point is, when you invite somebody to something, you log the invite in Teamzy and you put them on your follow-ups list. Let me show you how to do that. I think I gave you guys too much, but was that helpful? That's how I transition it. I have a whole training series in Teamzy on how to transition a conversation, 7 parts, how to have the whole conversation. It's like an extra thing you can purchase. For those of you who really want to like drill into the conversation and how to transition that conversation. Okay, so here's how we're going to do it. I've switched from, I switched to Ellie as my example, but Jay is the one that I'm going to follow up with. Well, let's just add her in here. Ellie's am I saying your name right? Is it Ellie? Okay, good. I guess right. I'm just going to add you to Teamzy. This is how you add somebody. How easy is this? Super easy. Okay, I'm just going to add her in here. So now let's pretend we're connecting with her, right? And now she is interested in learning more. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to log an invite. So I'm going to open the connect box. See where it says invite right here? Toggle that up and see it defaults to just a regular connect. I'm going to change it. So she's interested in learning more. So I'm going to say to her something, for example, well, are you going to be around? Are you home tomorrow night? She's like, yeah. I'm like, no, don't worry. My team's doing a virtual event on Facebook. So you can get a glass of wine and be in your PJs and log in and just kind of get a feel for what the business is like. It's an awesome experience. She goes, okay, great. That'd be great. Send me the link. Okay, great. So I'm going to invite her. So I'm going to call this, let's pick business opportunity meeting. So I picked an invite type. And maybe I'll just put a little note that it was a Facebook Live event. Okay. And I'll send that to her. I'll Facebook message her that link. And then see right here where this little calendar says in 2 days. That's my follow-up. Okay. You can set a follow-up for any day in the future, but it's going to default to 2 just to make sure I set one. So when I log an invite, it's putting her on my follow-ups list. So now as I'm sending her this link or whatever, I'm going to log it in Teamzy, and you can see it's now added that follow-up to her record. If I go to my dashboard, now I have her on my follow-up. Okay, I cannot screw this up. And it's due, in this case, it's due on Thursday. So on Thursday, when I'm doing my power hour, right? When I'm doing my power on Thursday, I'm going to do my prospects, connect with my customers, connect with my distributors. And then when I get to my follow-ups, I'm going to see that my follow-up is due with Ellie. Okay? So now I'm going to follow up with her. Let me show you how easy this is. I'm going to follow up with her by going the same way. I'm going to go to scripts, and I'm going to get a follow-up script. I just want you guys to know I have my 10 follow-ups in numbered order in here for you. Just use them. Follow-up number 1, there it is. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Okay. Here we go. Change the name. Okay. Super easy. And we're going to send it as a regular connect. Follow-up is the same as a connect. Let's see if I can find her. How many people have your name? Is this you? Disney? No? Are you Elizabetta?
My name is Elizabeth. So try Elizabeth.
This one?
No.
It's okay. We'll just pretend I know you. Did I spell it right? Ellie.
Put Elizabeth.
Okay. Is that Bella? No. That's definitely not you.
The second one.
LSU?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to send her this follow-up message. Okay. Send. For sake of accuracy, I wanted to send it actually to her. Okay, there we go. So now I'm following up and I'm logging it. And when I log the follow-up, I schedule my next one. So let's say I'm going to follow up again in 2 days. Great. These are just random time frames I'm picking. So I know a lot of people are super specific. So he follows up every 2 days. No, whatever. Use your gut whenever you want to follow up next. So I put it in here, follow up in 2 days, log the connect. Now that follow-up has been logged. You can see I've got a follow-up done right here. See, follow-up's 1. And now the follow-up is due again. She's on my list. Keep them on the follow-ups. Let's keep following up, keep following up, keep following up. Next time I follow up, I'll just go grab follow-up number 2 script and I'll send it to her. Now, really quick on follow-ups. I know I've been talking to you guys a long time. We're going to finish this up in a second. And I did promise Andrea I would talk about team report too, which is awesome. How many of you have heard that the fortune's in the follow-up? If you haven't heard it, let me tell you, the fortune's in the follow-up. All right, here's the truth. Here's the stat. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-ups. Yeah, Tiffany says, wow. She's muted and I got that, wow. 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-ups. Who follows up 10 times consistently? Anybody? I didn't get anybody that time. Usually I might get one person and they're lying. It's all good. Why don't you follow up more? It's okay, I know why. Because you don't want to be annoying, right? How many of you that's why? Okay, I'm going to teach you right now how to do it not being annoying. People will thank you for it from their heart. You want to learn that? Simple. But first, mindset shift time. How many of you believe you can help people change their lives? And that's what you're passionate about. Let me see your hands. It's okay if you're not, but the people with the hands up, you're my people. Let me rephrase that statistic. 80% of the people you could help, you won't help unless you follow up more. How about that one? The vast majority of people you could help, you're not going to help. And this is why I want you to understand, following up isn't just some annoying thing we do. Following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. Write it down. Some of you need that as an affirmation in front of you every day. Following up is an act of love. If you love people and want to help them, the only thing you have is the follow-up. Tower Garden's not going to help them eat nutritiously if they don't have one. The capsules aren't going to help them bridge the gap if they haven't purchased them. The only thing you have to help them is your follow-up. Following up shows them that you love them and that you care. Failing to follow up communicates this: I don't care enough about you to stick with you. It's harsh but true. Think about someone who failed to follow up with you and that's the way you felt. Following up is an act of love. Now, here's the good news. You cannot be annoying while you do this. Let me teach you how. Follow these 2 rules. Okay. Now, you don't even need to know these rules. If you use my scripts in Teamzy, they already follow these rules. Number 1, never ask someone to do anything in your follow-up. Don't ask them to do anything. Don't ask them to even respond. They don't have to, you don't put anything on their shoulders. You don't have to respond. You don't have to message me. You don't have to call me. You don't have to RSVP, nothing. Your follow-ups don't have questions in them, except for maybe, how can I help you? Or is there something more I could do for you type thing. Okay. Number 2, your follow-up must be, and I'm adamant about this, must be written, texted, messaged. No voice messages, no video messages. Goodness forbid, don't call people on the telephone. Unless you have a time machine and you're going back to the 70s. Otherwise, do not call people on the telephone. That doesn't mean you don't talk to people on the telephone. You schedule calls to talk to people, for sure. But you shouldn't be randomly calling people's phones. Everybody hates that, to get an unexpected call. Why does it have to be messaged? This is why. Because I can look at a message for less than a second and read the whole thing, true? And it needs to be, the second piece of it is it has to be short. It has to be short enough that I can see the entire message on the lock screen of my phone. Why is that? Because your message is going to hit me at the same moment that my baby's throwing up on the dog, or at the same moment I'm driving my car, or at the same moment that I'm in the middle of making dinner for my kids, and I cannot respond to you right now. But I have a deep-seated desire to know what the message says. Are you guys like this? I gotta know what that message said. And if I have to open it because there's a ... at the end, now I'm annoyed, because why do I not want to open it? Because I can't answer it. I can't respond. And you're gonna think I'm a jerk for reading your message and not responding. True? Do you guys do this? So how do you do it by not being annoying? Make sure it's messaged out and it's short enough that they can see the whole message. Your goal is that they see the message. That's it. When they see the message, it will reconnect them emotionally to you and to the excitement and interest they had in Juice Plus. Okay? Here's what I want you guys to understand. If you follow those 2 rules, don't ask them to do anything, message it, and keep it short, you won't be annoying. And so 20% of people will respond within the first 3 messages, right? Just 20%. Those are the people that you've already signed up. Those are the sales you've already got. Have you guys, how many of you have noticed a lot of the people that are interested, they don't respond? It's like crickets. What's going on? Just crickets. Anybody have the crickets issue happening? 80% of people will not respond even to the first 6. They won't even respond at all. And it's not because they're a jerk. It's not because they're not interested. It's not because they don't respect you. It's not because they're broke. It's not because Juice Plus is too expensive. It's not because their husband is overbearing. It's not because it's tax time. It's only because of what I told you is when your message came at that exact moment, they weren't able to respond. And you may not be their top priority right now. Make sense? Your job is to stay present with them and love them through the process, stay top of mind, stay positive, stay encouraging, stay supporting until they're ready to respond. And after about 6 or 7 messages is when most people will respond with a message that says, I'm so sorry I haven't responded. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for following up. Now you guys need to know that I have taught this system that I just taught you to close to 100,000 people in the last 3 years. And I can still tell you that it's a small percentage of people who employ it, but I get a message or 2 every single day where people are telling me, oh my gosh, it works. Oh my gosh, it worked. I can't believe it. I just signed up 3 distributors. People I've been talking to for 3 months just signed up, and all I did was use the scripts and follow the program. If you want to help people, you have to love them through this process. Understand that most people have busy lives. Changing their whole life upside down to start this crazy journey with you is not priority number 1, even if they're interested, and you have to be present with them till they're ready. Make sense? Okay, last bit. I'm going to finish this off, and then we'll do some questions. But I also want to talk to you a little bit about Team Report real quick, because that is something I promised to talk about, and it's super cool. All right, so how do I finish off Ellie in the process? After a few months, she finally buys, she converts. How do I do it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look her up. She's not going to be on my dashboard anymore, right, as I'm talking to her. So I'm going to look her up in my lookup bar at the top. So you can look up anybody this way. She's right there, scroller. All right, that brings me to her record. Now what I'll do here, see, like you can do things in notes like this. Right? You keep stuff like that. All right, so look, what I'm gonna do is under her name here where it says sale, I'm gonna click that. I'm gonna log that we got a sale. Let's say she came in as a distributor, so I'll click application fee and save it. Teamzy now knows that we got a result from all those connects. And now I'm gonna tag the products that she bought, okay? So let's say she got Tower Garden. Let's just say Tower Garden. I just got one of these, so I'm kind of obsessed with it right now. Though I have to tell you guys, okay, a little side note on my Tower Garden. I'm brand new to Tower Gardening, and I had these little beautiful seedlings going, and then the snails attacked, and then I went to war on the snails. Have you guys had snails? I went to war on the snails, and I finally got the snails handled, and my seedlings turned into these beautiful little 6-inch plants. And today, my beautiful little 2-year-old girl decided she was gonna go attack it with a rake and destroyed some of these plants with a rake. I'm like, I don't understand sometimes what motivates children to just destroy things. But anyways, so now I have a little snail that lives in my house that I have to work on loving the garden. All right, so she gets the Tower Garden. Great, now it's logged. And I move her from prospect to distributor, personally sponsored, just by clicking on it. And that moves her group. So now she's moved from prospect all the way over to being on distributors. That's where I'll connect with her in the future. Make sense? So your power hour is really simple. Who's up next? Just follow the system. Go down the list, connect with your prospects. Go down the list, connect with your customers. Go down the list, connect with your distributors. Anybody that's interested, invite them to something and put them on your follow-ups list. Follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. Okay? Those of you going into a free trial of Teamzy, most of your first month, you might not even have follow-ups. It may just be connecting with people, starting conversations. Maybe around week 3 or 4, some of those conversations will start turning to invites. And then you'll start filling that follow-up. So your power hour in the beginning might only be 20, 30 minutes. It's when your follow-ups list gets full that you get to the full hour of DMO. Make sense? Okay, great. Now, let me show you one thing that's really awesome, because I think you guys may have a team challenge coming up. I have a feeling this might be happening. And what you can do is over here on this left, this little team report thing. This is super cool because, well, it shows you your stats. But if you want to get somebody on your downline onto your team report, you click this plus and you send this email to them. And the email has a link that allows them to give you permission to see their daily activities in Teamzy. Okay? So what you'll be able to do is actually see what they're doing or not doing today. And on team calls, you can highlight who's the top producers and things like that. But new people come on, you can say, hey, for 30 days, let's do this. I'll hold you accountable. We'll see how you're doing. You can coach them through it. Let me just share with you, I think I have it open, my boot camp. Do I have a boot camp team report? No, I don't. Let me show you what one looks like that's fully full of people, because I do this thing every quarter. I do a boot camp for a lot of leaders, and they're on a team report with me that I check all the time. And then I create a leaderboard every week where we look at who's producing. I'm finding the page right now if you're wondering what the heck I'm doing. Team report, there we go. Go. It's logging. And we're just gonna see right now live who kicked butt today. Oh, it's slow, come on. There you go, it knows we're waiting. All right, so here's today. Let's just go in here real quick. You guys ready for this? This team report thing is so cool. I know Andrea wants to do this with you guys. Here's my team report. So this is my team. This is today's activities for boot camp. My group of people, they've connected with almost 2,000 people today, right? Followed up with almost 500, invited almost 254 people have been invited. And this shows me my leaders. Look, my Suzannes are leading the field. Suzanne here, she connected with 65 people today. This Suzanne connected with 52 people today. These are rock star people, six-figure earners. But you can see people are cranking. This is just today, Tuesday. So the 2 stars mean that they rocked their connect goal and their invite goal. 1 star means that they're rocking just their connects, not their invites too. And then it gets down to if people aren't doing a lot today, then they'll have a little sleepy face icon above them, so you know who's rocking. So what's cool about this is you can help people by seeing if they're doing the activities. What we don't track volume, we don't track closed sales, we don't track rank ups, because I want you guys to understand something about building a business. If you do the activities, the results follow. So we celebrate activities done. People connecting with people, following up with people, inviting people. That's the important thing. If they're doing the activities that they need to do to create income, the results will follow. Make sense? Okay. Let me just give you guys some action steps and we'll do some questions, a little Q&A real quick. Here's your action steps. Well, that's not it. It's the next slide. Oh, it turned red. That's weird. Go to Teamzy and go to teamzy.com. For you guys, /JP is the easiest way. That's the Juice Plus specific page. Get your free trial started. It's 30 days free. Okay, if you're already in a free trial, set up your subscription so you don't miss a beat when your trial ends. If you already did a free trial and it expired, get your subscription, get in there, stop messing around. Let's go. Let's build this business together. I recommend you get a 30-day success partner to do it with you. Hold each other accountable, encourage each other, support each other. Share your why with your success partner. Okay? You don't have to commit to being success partners forever. Just do it for 30 days to see if you like working together. And then take a snapshot, a screen grab of your daily activities and message it to your partner. I recommend that with partners instead of just using the team report, because if they haven't done anything today and you send the text, it'll motivate them to get off their booties and get their contacts done, okay? And then I'm gonna give you a 5-day challenge. The 5-day challenge is this: connect with 100 people in 5 days, okay? Whatever mix you want, 100 people in 5 days, 20 people a day. Why do I want you to do it in 5 days in a row? Because I want you to feel the momentum you can create in such a short time just by connecting and making people's day. In fact, you guys who do this, who's in for let me just see real quick. Who's in for, wait, hold on. I can't see you right now. Let me find you. I lost you in my screens. How many of you are in for the 5-day challenge? Let me just see who's going to do this. You guys, I'm going to tell you right now, you guys will be overwhelmed with conversations. But here's what I want you to understand. That's a good place to be. Do you think successful people are not overwhelmed? Here's the difference. People in survival are overwhelmed with worry. Successful people are overwhelmed with opportunity. It's a difference. It's a big difference. Make sense? So choose your overwhelm. Stress is not your enemy. Stress is where growth happens. But when you're working on something you're passionate about, it's not that kind of stress. Make sense? Okay. Let's open up for some questions. If you guys have anything that you want to talk about, just unmute yourself and ask away, and I'll be happy to answer it. Did I just drop my mic?
Hey, I have one.
Go ahead, Tiffany.
So on whenever you shared your screen with us and we could actually see in Teamzy, at the top it had dailies that went across. I was just curious what that was.
Oh yeah, okay. Dailies, it's just, it's when I built Teamzy, I was like, okay, what are the things that absolutely must be done on a daily basis to be successful? Okay. Obviously, I want you to connect with the people that we're talking about tonight. But there's other things you need to do every day and be consistent at to be successful. And there's 4 things that are absolutely essential that are on your dashboard, and you can't get rid of them. Those 4 things are social posts, in other words, posting on social media, sharing, personal development work, reading books, podcasts, audiobooks, Teamzy trainings with Eric, right? Personal development. Actually being a product to your product, using your products every day, right? So you can click that off when you've done it. And then getting some exercise. Now, so many people are like, why do I need exercise? Eric, I sell eyelash extensions. Why is exercise on there? This is what successful people do consistently, okay? And I want it to bother you and make you go out and walk the dog or something so you can check it off, okay? Now, you can add things. You can see I've added a couple here just as examples. You can add additional ones. I added devotional. I added walk the dog. So you can add additional ones that you want. You do that by clicking this edit button. And then you can add whatever daily you want to add, okay? So if you have another thing that you consider essential, put it on there. Those are the dailies. And then you can track how you're doing on your dailies. You can track, how consistent you are on your dailies, if that makes sense.
That's awesome.
But I would tell you that there were times, for example, where I would feel good because I made my connects, but then I would see that I didn't put a post on social media. And so that's an important thing to be consistent with. Now, some people believe this is totally different training. Some people are like, you got to post 4 times a day on social media, whatever. How many of you guys are in that world? That wasn't me, but I did try to post every day on social media. And that's because my approach to social media is a little different than what a lot of people teach. I believe social media is your platform to build trust with people. That's your platform to build trust. The things that we talked about today: chemistry, competence, character, consistency. So as you meet people and connect with them, they're going to go to your social media. That's going to be part of their experience. They're going to go to your social media. They're going to consume your content. They're going to be inspired by you. They're going to feel like they're getting to know you. They're going to feel who you are as a person. And that's important. So does that help? What are the questions? Let's take a couple more. I know it's been a long call, and we'll send you guys to bed. Ellie, you deserve a question after I put you in the showcase tonight.
It's fine. At some point, I don't really remember when, but you mentioned something about you can buy an extra transition conversation thing.
Yeah, so, okay, that's a good point. So let me show you a couple resources that are available to you guys in your Teamzy, even as a free trial. Okay, so first I want to show you on the left nav over here on the side, the first thing I want to show you is Help Center. Help Center is where you get help, free help on anything dealing with Teamzy. how to use it, how to get your imports done, FAQs. There's even a few full-length webinars where I talk about different things in here that you can watch. And it's all free, and then all your FAQs, okay? Now, the other thing I want to show you is Teamzy University. See right here below it. Teamzy University is where you get to benefit from my training as a business coach, not as a software guy, okay? So Teamzy University, you can learn how to set goals, for example. And these first 3 are free. These are free trainings that I recorded. So here's a 3-part series on how to actually write goals, okay? So I take you through part 1 is your big goals, part 2 are your SMART goals, and then part 3 is how to set up your daily business standard. So those are free trainings you can do in here. And then if you go down, you'll see there's other courses you can purchase. So a la carte. So the different ways on how to build your business. And then the one I specifically was talking about, Ellie, that I mentioned is this one, The Art of Creating Conversations That Convert. This is a 7-part series on the whole conversation. Specifically, how to start it, how to engage people in conversation, how to understand and uncover their wants and needs, how to transition the conversation to talking about your business, and how to intelligently do that based on what you're hearing, and then the whole process. I also teach how to, I give you the full dialogues on how to talk to your customers and get them to introduce you to their friends, all that stuff we talked about. So that training is pretty extensive. We just recently did that one because I've been doing this bootcamp training, this quarterly training. I do it every quarter, and we get about 300 people into the bootcamp. And my partner, my business partner, Mike Lopez, and I will coach these people through a 12-week training process in a private group. And out of that training, which was really extensive, we found that people were like, we just really want to know how to have that conversation. Like they just kept asking like the real specifics. So we went back and created a new training. I built Teamzy assuming that everybody was already having conversations. I just needed to organize them. So I know that that's a skill not everybody has. So anyways, hopefully that helps, Ellie.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Any other questions that you guys may have? So again, free 30 days. After 30 days, Teamzy is typically $29.99 a month. That's what we charge everybody else. But Juice Plus, it's $19.95. So it's a nice, huge discount. That is, like I said, less than 60 cents a day to organize all of your work in less than an hour. And of course, you write that off your taxes 100%, right? Business owners, you guys get to write everything off now. It's really cool. So I hope that was really helpful. I want to thank you, Andrea, for having me. It was, you said it, you were honored. It's my honor to be here. I'm sorry that I spoke so long. Was it helpful though? Did you guys get some good stuff?
Incredibly helpful. I think everybody's very excited. So thank you so much for giving us so much phenomenal information.
Well, you're welcome. I'm glad. And again, we recorded this. So some of you may need to go back and watch pieces of it to see what you missed, because maybe you spaced out when I got your brain too soggy. But again, thank you guys for having me. God bless you all. Have a great night. And hopefully
thank you, Eric.
You all in Teamzy. Take care.
Good night.